Listín Diario Editorial for July 29 of 2023. The line must be drawn without further delay. By ordering the urgent departure from Haiti of all the relatives of its diplomats and non-essential embassy personnel, the United States heralds an imminent collapse of the fragile security state that still exists in that country. They are feeling firsthand the effects and forcible consequences of an accelerated outbreak of violence, aggravated by the food crisis and the lack of money in the pockets of citizens. At the very gates of their embassy in Port-au-Prince, groups of desperate Haitians, frightened by the climate of insecurity, went to seek refuge and the police dispersed them with bombs. Now that a 3-day general strike by Haitian public transport has been announced to demand a 40% reduction in fuel prices from the government, the outlook is becoming more volatile. Because at a time when gasoline prices are rising in the world and there are signs of shortages, it is impossible for the Haitian government to meet that demand. And since fuel prices have also begun to rise here, Haitians are unlikely to turn to the Dominican gas stations on the border to look for less expensive gasoline. It is also probable that in the midst of a paralysis of Haitian public transport, Dominican buses and trucks that arrive and bring passengers and merchandise should not risk circulating in that territory. Faced with the visible escalation of greater violence between the armed gangs, the government, and the civilian population that is fed up with the crisis, it is advisable that the Dominican Republic also order the return of its diplomats and family members to the country. The total closure of the border, as we have called for in previous editorials, is now more urgent than ever. It must be done with the shielding of a greater deployment of troops as a mechanism of deterrence and contain a probable human avalanche. Before it's too late, the Abinader's line must be drawn without further ado or consideration. For Listín Diario, voiceover and translations by Indira Rodriguez.